Good evening. It's 7 o'clock on a Monday night, and it's Norma Cowie with Mental Mind Treatments and Psychic Impressions. Welcome. I do have an apology for those that tuned in last night. Not last night, yesterday morning for a Sunday Thought. Some of you received the text I ended up sending out because my son, who was up visiting for the weekend, had a flight to go home on from Kelowna, the city that's an hour and a half away from us, in the afternoon. And then there was snow in Vancouver, so he got a message that flight had been canceled, and he was managed to get on an earlier flight, which means I would not be home to do the a Sunday Thought. So I sent out a message. Some of you replied saying thank you for that. Some inquired, "Are you okay?" or "What's going on?" So that's what happened yesterday. So we didn't have too much snow when we drove up, but a little bit coming home, and that was it. More today. We had more snow today. So what I'm going to read you is one of my little insight cards, God cards they call them. It's got forgiveness occurs when I let go of my attitudes and judgments and am willing to perceive through the eyes and heart of God. And the other side says, just for today, I will notice all the beauties surrounding me. So I had minimum of snow, but there was snow to drive in and snow to look at. And it was cold. Don't usually get cold and snow together, but occasionally we do. I'm just going to straighten this up a little bit here. Hang on a minute. I just have to do it. Oops. I got missed out. Where did I go? Oh, let go here. There we go. Shouldn't touch my computer when I'm on. That's what happened there. So Kayla had called me earlier, and I noticed she's on today. Healing, blessings, and love for all. Saying that her doctor told her she actually has a virus, which is why she's so tired. So when I thought about the virus, I picked the numbers 17, 3, and 20, which is similar to what she's often get, but I looked back and it's not what she had for last week. So anyway, again, always, when you're not well, it's important to watch your energy, where you're putting your energy, how you're working with the energy, and how all that works together. And that's what becomes important. The 3 shows the universal love force that's there, and we know with Kayla, it is always strong. And 20 is the acceptance. What do we do when we get tired? Because I'm just coming out of quite a period of where I was really tired. No matter what, I just felt tired. And what do? We accept it. That's what we do. We accept it, and we watch what we do. I know in those weeks when I was particularly tired, I really managed my energy by doing what I really wanted to do and saying no to other things that I didn't really want to do. And so that conserved my energy as I was really tired. Excuse me, I've also had a runny nose. I'm going to sneeze. Now, I haven't been sneezing. I've been blowing my nose and clearing my throat a little bit. I don't know what's going on here. I'm allergic to something, I guess. Yeah, it's been in my throat. But now it's been in my nose. This could be fun tonight. This could be fun. So I'm going to do a treatment for Kayla regarding moving through the virus fast. Usually viruses sometimes can take anywhere from 10 days to 2 weeks to work themselves out. So I know there is one power, and I know that as I speak my word for Kayla, I know that her system is working to, and I'm going to use the word fight here, fighting a virus, which makes her tired. And also with that comes the lack of energy, mental power, physical power, the whole thing. I know that Kayla knows that the love energy is always there, working, dealing, moving through easily. And so I also know the acceptance of the knowing of that eases the support through that period of time when there's so much tiredness and so much wanting to do but can't because you just wear yourself right out. I know that Kayla can utilize that universal love energy to support her through the time of balance and recognizing how much to do and how much not. The recommendation, of course, is not to push yourself too fast or too hard or for too long, and to really listen so that the inner workings, we might say, build up to a point where you are able to feel stronger and more with it. I give thanks in the knowing for Kayla that this virus is working its way out, that it is done. And we give thanks to it for being there and showing itself. But now we can say goodbye and go, and Kayla can go on with her life to the point where she is and what she's dealing with and how that works. I give thanks in this as I release this by knowing, and so it is. I'm still not quite happy with this computer, so we're going to go this way, I think. There we go. We're getting there, but slow today. Karen Marcus. Hi, Karen. As you will notice, I forgot to write in what it is so the new people won't know necessarily what's going on. 8, 15, 21. 15 is the emotionality number. So the 8 is the balancing of your energies. And the way I've got this drawn, which I always really notice how I draw 8s, is that there's a lot going on in your life, which is creating an emotional awareness. And what needs to happen is the balance of awareness that nothing lasts. Everything changes, doesn't matter what it is. And sometimes it's hard to recognize because we as humans seem to take a long time sometimes to notice the change or to be aware of the change. But what I see here, this is a balancing effect of emotion. And some reason I feel a sense of frustration. The frustration I find is annoying, as my voice is annoying right now to me. But it's also recognizing, just like Kayla needs to be watching her energy, I'm going to say the same for you, is that you watch where you're at, what you're doing, what you're getting upset over, excuse me, and how you're balancing that, because the balancing of it is what's really important. So as we move into treatment for this, I know there is one power and there's one essence. And as I speak my word for Karen, I know that sometimes things come, it's almost like out of nowhere. And emotionally, we have to deal with often situations we think we've already dealt with them and they're no longer prevalent. And yet what I see here is that rebalancing, that reawareness of where you're going no matter what occurs, what is said, the reactions. It's about where we're heading, where we're going in a balanced, easy way. The universe is balanced. We sometimes move out of balance. Even though when I say it's balanced, sometimes it feels out of balance, but it always works to be balanced as we as humans do as well. Always work to create that balance so that we're, especially when the emotions are involved. And so I know as I move into the treatment of this, that the emotionality and the need to be balanced, and I have perspective within that balance, is prevalent right now. It's about recognizing your feelings are fine. What you feel is yours, and to acknowledge them, but not to be frightened of them, not to try and squish them, not to sort of push them aside. but to just acknowledge them for what they are, because sometimes we have fear, sometimes we just have frustration, sometimes we have all these things that you have go on. And so, right now, with you having basically, in a way, three numbers which have a balancing aspect to them, is that this is about balance. Where do you want to go? And what do you want to do? I give thanks in knowing that you know how to bring balance back into your life. I give thanks in knowing and the awareness of how you feel and acknowledge it and then let it go, so that you can feel that sense of solidity within you. I give thanks in the knowing of this as I release this, knowing that it is true for Karen. It's all about balance, and it is done. And so it is. Amen. So now we got Karen B. Because my son was here over the weekend, I didn't do any other work but spend time with him. And he helped me a lot with my place because I wanted some things reorganized. And my son is tall, so he can reach to high places. And those of you that have ordered books that I have to kind of make up, he got something down from really high that I can't reach right now, so that we can begin. I'm trustingly by the end of the week, I have all those ready for mailing. So I apologize for being a bit late, but I'm working on getting there. Karen B, may I please have a treatment for my friend? Okay, friend, I got to write this down. Friend John's wife. Okay, and she is called Debbie, who is battling liver cancer the past year. Thank you in advance. Oh, well, after working with my melanoma cancer for basically 2 years, I understand that. Well, actually, I didn't battle it for 2 years, but I was still having treatments, and they wore me out. Debbie, let me just think. I got to put some numbers in here. I'm going to go to 22, 17, and 5. Okay. 22 is basically having faith. Having faith in time, having faith in the balance of the 17, that you don't do too much. Sometimes it's really difficult, even when you don't feel well or great, to take the time that you need to get healed, to get well, to be a part of everything. And to me, with this number 5, it looks to me as though there is more information needed about how to do that, how to be at peace within yourself as you move through the experiences of healing. The time it takes sometimes to heal. We get so impatient. It's not even an impatience, I think. It's just, we just think it goes on forever. So I'm going to do my treatment based on these numbers. Debbie, I know there is one power and one essence, and I know that power and essence is available to each and every one of us if we allow it in. This means that we have faith in the universe, God, if you will, or whatever name you call that wonderful energy that is there, that loves you beyond measure. Recognizing your soul, recognizing who you are and where you're heading. I also know that within this healing process that you're involved in, that the balancing of your energies is so important, and that means inward attunement to that. If you're tired, you don't do anything, you rest, and you allow the light of love, the light of, some people call it white light, some people call it gold. I work with gold myself, but some people work with gold. Some people work with purple, amethyst, all the colors, whatever the color. It's to where you feel and drawn to for you. And learn a little more about liver sometimes is anger, frustration, and it's about letting it go to a large degree. It's about dealing, and I read earlier, I wondered why I picked this up. I'm going to read it again. Phoenixes. Forgiveness occurs when I let go of my attitudes and judgments and am willing to perceive through the eyes and the heart of God. That is so important, because when we hold on to anything, even when we were 6 years old, we make decisions, we make judgments, and they stay in our system, and we recreate them over and over, unfortunately. When you understand how programming works, I've spent my life trying to figure that out, and I feel I've got a good handle on how it works now. But it's like here, I just want to know, as I move into that energy of being, that there's a word people call about the Godhead, which is above our head and in our brain, actually, a little bit. And it's like knowing that it works for us, that you're not alone, that you have the ability to move forward as you create faith. I would suggest in this as that your strength comes in looking at where you have faith. Even a teeny bit can grow into a magnificent bit. The balancing of your energies, always being aware when you're tired, you rest. When you feel that you have some energy to do something, you do it. And you listen. You listen to the philosophical guidance from people, yourself, what you read, what you know, how it works, all coming together. I know this power is there for you, Debbie. I know that it exists. I know that it works. And I give thanks in the knowingness that Karen B has asked and requested for this information for you. I give thanks in the knowingness. I would look to say, if you can, keep on having Karen B ask for this. You yourself maybe want to come on for it so we can deal directly, because this needs just those numbers tell me we need a little bit more time, a little bit more knowing, a little bit more awareness. I give thanks in the knowingness that the faith, the energy, we just need the knowingness now. We just need the knowledge. And as we release that, knowing that it's all true, if my throat would stop being, I don't know what today. Usually it's more in my the voice, but it's not. It's right in still in my throat. I have a tickle. And it wasn't there an hour ago, I'll tell you. But it's certainly there now. Anyway, I give thanks by releasing this thought for Debbie by saying, and so it is. And I'll have another drink of water. Oh, this frustrates me. I don't like being frustrated. But sometimes it really is not happy. Kayla says, thank you for your insights. I appreciate that. I love maths number 7. So maths number 7. Yes, I made it. Good. I'm so glad. Yeah, I'm coughing and nose running and all sorts of other things. Yes. Good evening, Norma. I hope you're doing great. I was doing great. I had a great day today. I had some clients and everything was flowing. Everything's been great. Now, what have I done again? Hang on a minute. I don't think that comes out, but it's in front of me. No numbers. Oh, here he is down at the bottom. Okay, I'm going to put you in here. For a minute, I've got to write this down. Math 07 from the bottom, 6, 18, 19. Healing for laziness and procrastination. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not laughing. I'm just laughing. Okay. I love the way we tackle all these things for you. I can't even spell it without looking at it. Okay. I don't want to read that again. Just for today, I will notice all the beauty surrounding me. and I will go out and I will enjoy it. Well, there's a lot of emotion in the numbers that you pick, 2 or the 3. So basically, the first thing, the confusion, the uncertainty, the everything, plus late fear, anxiety, all those things, which causes laziness and procrastination, need to come to an end so that you can move forward and grab life. I want to grab it. Our minds, I quite often work with this with my clientele. Our minds sometimes have thinking patterns in them that bind us into all sorts of issues. And when they bind us into the issues, what ends up happening, and then we also have fear, excuse me, of life anyway. What happens is we don't always get over it. It's there. It's like a lurking cloud, like a dark cloud that lurks. So let me see what comes for you in treatment. I know there is one power and one essence. And I also know that laziness and procrastination is not something that we're naturally born with. I know that it is created and it is there a part of you. Fear has a lot to do with it, but also confusion of thinking, of emotionality about, well, if I didn't do this, then this wouldn't work. Or if I did do this, it would work. It's a lot of mental confusion, actually. I also know that there is light and energy for everyone if they choose to welcome it into their lives, not just in their brain, but in their heart. Allowing that energy, however you see it. And I've talked a little bit at different times on color, using color, whatever you want, whatever is your favorite color. And it's like as we breathe that color in, and allow it to come into our body, and especially into those places where we're holding on to the confusion and our fear and our anxiety and our everything that has us become lazy and procrastinating. I've been there. I've been there very often. Procrastination, yeah, especially when I'm not really sure what I'm going to do, if I'm going to be effective. Now, this is a lot of years ago, more than now, but I still run into it. Because my mind, so that's where can I say the attack? That's where we attack, is to change the mental structure of ourselves. So we don't go into the mental confusion and anxiety, but we stay clear. So when it pops up, we recognize it right away. And we do my little trick of freeze, evaporate, replace the thought. So because the thought needs to be effective. I know that this is a lot to do with mental awareness, a desire to change, and a sense of moving as we move through. There is so much that we can have in life if we push fear totally out of our existence. And when it does come up, we learn how to pass it on, transform it, do whatever you need to do to get to the end result you want. You've got to want the end result more than you want to hide from it, because fear is really hiding. I know that Math 07, because of that beautiful 19, can leave it behind, can leave all this behind and move into the celebration of life, of God, of being, of whatever name you want to call it. I never really mind what name you call it. And be at one. And be at one. Peaceful, happy, and achieving. I give thanks in the knowing of this, and I give thanks as I release this, that Math So 7 can move forward with essence of being. And I just noticed he had written also down here, it's strange. I was going to ask you for a healing for fear. Well, fear is behind the two things you put in. And so it actually makes it a far better place to work from. Karen B says, thank you for the treatment, Debbie. Debbie, and so true, and a good reminder for us all. CC99 says, hi, Norma. I love your little globe beyond you. Yeah, that's to remind me of the world. I've done a lot of traveling, and I'm here for the world. And this goes out on the airwaves, and who knows where it goes. That's my little selection of that. Thank you. Math 07 also says, I don't know why I choose procrastination instead. I then decide to ask you for a healing of fear next week. Well, you got both of them, because procrastination and so-called laziness comes from fear. You can decide to be lazy because you don't want to get up and do something. That I'm not talking about that innateness of not doing or going, which is very equated with procrastination, is all I could. If I in my book, I'm putting an arrow underneath for both. With fear, really, we're talking about fear. What if? All the what ifs. What if this happens? What if that happens? What if I feel this way? What if I feel that way? When you believe, when you trust, when you want a new future, and you get your strength and your bravery out, you'll be surprised how all that quickly disappears. Doesn't look like I have anybody else under here. Well, I know I've got this voice happening, my nose happening, and now it's clearing up. I think I got everybody so far, and those that keep watch for me, let me know if I've missed anything. Well, it's probably a good sense. We can usually go this time, or we go another 15 minutes, but we don't have the people, which is fine, because I've had didn't sleep much last night, actually. But anyway, it's all good. Everything is the way it needs to be, and it all works out appropriately. So I will be back Wednesday morning. I'm not counting on being anywhere else. And so I will, yes, I had I think I was going to talk. What was it? I don't know. I thought I had a topic. I've been so busy with everything else going on. When my son arrives, it's like everything stops, because I don't see him very often. So it's like, that's it. And he helps me a great deal here too, where I live. So I had him working. I was like, do this, do that, do the other. So I think that's what Karen Marcus, bless you. Thank you. I'm going to say wish you well. Good night. Have a great day. I'll be back Wednesday talking about something, as always. And then truly next Sunday, a Sunday thought. And keep your fingers crossed for me, because I'm feeling so much better. I'm hoping to start doing some shorts again. I didn't have the energy to do the 3 shows and shorts, and now I'm getting ready to begin. So your mental help out there will help me here. So I'm going to say good night, and thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you immensely. Send you lots of love, and I wish you well. Have a good life. I'll see you next Monday for this, but I'll also see you Wednesday and on Sunday. Yeah. Bye now.